Good evening. Welcome to the forecast discussion for August 25th, 2015. It is a Tuesday evening, and we have dry air building in. I promise. I know some of you are not feeling it yet, especially right along the coast, but the dry air is coming. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Over eastern Pennsylvania, we have dew points in the 40s, which is pretty dry. Temperatures have fallen off into the lower to mid 70s. Right along the Delaware River and over much of New Jersey, we're in the mid to upper 80s, and our dew points are falling off rapidly. Along the Delaware River, they're in the 50s. Along the coast, they're in the 60s. And unfortunately, if you're in Long Island right now, as of 6 p.m., it's still in the 70s, so it feels humid and horrible out. But the dry air is on the move. The cold front is slowly exiting. What slowed up this cold front was this little wave of low pressure right here. It developed unexpectedly, and it basically slowed down the progression of the cold front, which was supposed to be out of here about 6 hours ago. But you can see this low pressure system is lifting north. It's very weak. A few showers here and there with it. And you can see the humidity. Now, this all here is very humid air. And then you see how there's white and blue here? That means dew points are falling off. Now, let me zoom out here and kind of give you a little bit idea of the scale here. Down here, we're in the 50s and 60s. Below that is pretty dry air. So as you can see, when we zoom out over much of the Northeast, the Great Lakes, very dry air. The Ohio River Valley, very dry air. And all of that is building this way. So this wall of moisture that we've been dealing with is being pushed out into the Atlantic. Have a little patience. By this evening, that dry air will be in your neck of the woods. So there's definitely some good news in that the moisture is on the way out, and with it, some very pleasant weather over the next several days. On the latest radar, you can see we do have a few isolated thunderstorms well north over here in northern Connecticut and around Massachusetts, but for the most part, we're going to remain high and dry for this evening with tranquil weather conditions. And again, you will definitely feel the difference in the dew points as you head into this evening, with dew points falling through the 50s and possibly even a few 40s in there. As far as temperatures for this evening, look for them to slowly fall through the 70s and finally crash into the mid 60s by the time we get to tomorrow morning. On the infrared satellite picture, there's our cold front, and it's stalling out. That's slowly pushing off the coast. This right here is actually cold air aloft. This is an upper level low. And as this upper level low swings to the east, it'll force this cold front out of the area, and this high pressure system will be the dominant influence for the next 7 days, if not longer. So definitely we are in for a very tranquil and comfortable period of weather for the northern mid-Atlantic. Of course, we do have the tropics to worry about. We have Tropical Storm Erica. Erica is not looking all that impressive this evening. Currently, all the convection or thunderstorms are to the south of the low-level circulation. Really don't have much of an outflow here. It's trying to develop, but it's dealing with some shear and some dry air right now. So as of the 5 p.m. Update, the storm is actually weakened a bit down to 40 miles per hour. The pressure is roughly around 1,004 millibars. It's moving to the west at 20 miles per hour. It's about 605 miles to the east of Antigua. And at the rate that it's moving at 20 miles per hour, it should reach the northern end of the Leeward Islands by tomorrow night. And you can see the forecast here for the National Hurricane Center, taking the tropical storm towards the Bahamas and possibly becoming a hurricane by the time it reaches the far western Bahamas here. And we have to watch this storm very carefully. I wouldn't jump to conclusions. I'm not saying, prepare for the worst. But if you have friends and family around Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, I would definitely keep an eye on this storm. As far as the rest of the East Coast, it's an interesting pattern as we get out there by 5 to 10 days out there. But a lot can change and a lot can happen over that period of time. So we'll watch to see exactly what happens with Tropical Storm Erica. So let's take a look at our forecast. We're going to use the WPC model forecast maps here, which I think, quite frankly, does a great job of showing exactly what to expect. So for this evening, our cold front pushes off the coast. Look for our temperatures to fall off. By 1 a.m., that cold front is well off the coast. Dry air is in place. Temperatures are going to be falling through the 70s into the 60s. By tomorrow morning, we have lows in the mid-60s. Clear skies are expected. Low humidity, light northwesterly winds. For tomorrow afternoon, high pressure is going to be in control with clear skies and temperatures rising into the upper 70s to lower 80s along the immediate coast and lower 80s everywhere else. For tomorrow evening, clear skies are expected again. Temperatures will be falling into the 70s. And by Thursday morning, we'll have lows in the mid-60s, possibly a few lower 60s in the suburbs. And by Thursday afternoon and evening, looking for clear skies once again with high pressure in control, with temperatures rising into the upper 70s to lower 80s. For the rest of the forecast period, well, by Friday morning, high pressure will be sitting almost right over the region. Look for low temperatures in the lower 60s, high temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s. On Saturday, high pressure is going to start to shift off the coast. We're going to see a little bit of increase in humidity. Look for low temperatures in the upper 60s to lower 70s, high temperatures in the lower to mid 80s. On Sunday, high pressure again remaining in control, but again, notice the strongest high pressure system is again off the coast. Now, here at this point, we'll be watching our hurricane very, very carefully to seeing exactly what will evolve with this hurricane and where it will track. Again, let's not jump to conclusions, but certainly we're going to want to watch this storm very carefully. Temperatures on Sunday will be in the upper 60s to lower 70s for lows and mid 80s for highs. And then, of course, on Monday, we have temperatures basically in the upper 60s to lower 70s for lows and mid to upper 80s for highs with scattered clouds and clear skies. So overall, we're going to be dealing with a rather tranquil weather pattern over the next several days with clear skies and no precipitation. And temperatures basically near normal to start the forecast period and then push into above normal levels by next week. That is your forecast discussion for today. Thank you for following NYNJPA weather, and as always, stay safe out there.